In 2021, Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen, was abducted by Nigerian security forces in Nairobi, Kenya. Since his detention, he has been subjected to torture and many other unpleasantries. A United Nations Rights Council report released a damning assessment of Nigeria's government's treatment and called for his immediate release. My right honourable friend from Camberwell and Peckham has worked tirelessly on behalf of Mr Kanu and is urging the Foreign Secretary to do more to secure his release. Nigeria is a Commonwealth nation that receives tens of millions in UK aid. It is one of the biggest benefactors of aid. Part of this aid support must be a commitment to human rights and upholding the right to fair trials. Mr Kanu must be given access to a fair and due process. A British citizen travelling on the British passport should not be kidnapped in a third country and dragged to a Nigerian prison. The government needs to get much tougher.
Breaking news. The indigenous people of Biafra IPOB knocks United Kingdom government over silence on continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people. Once again, you're welcome to this wonderful YouTube channel. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel and make sure you turn on your notifications so that you will be notified whenever we drop our spanking news. Now, I started this video by actually posting a video of the last parliamentary meeting, that was held in regard of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's continuous detention. Now, that shows that, not once or twice, the United Kingdom have actually spoken about Nnamdi Kanu. But like I always say, and like I always accuse the United Kingdom of being accomplice to the continuous detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are part of it because definitely they are working with the zoo government, that is the Nigerian government, to continue to keep Nnamdi Kanu in DSS custody. Now, IPOB have come out to drop a very important information exposing the United Kingdom government once again, because this whole issue and shenanigan happening in court and the way we continue to see all kind of illegality on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is something that is even becoming too alarming and annoying at the same time. And that is why if we do not continue to hold United Kingdom accountable for the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, then the right thing will not be done, because it's as if the whole world is quiet. And they are quiet because the United Kingdom, being UK, is a powerful country. They are world power. So apart from the United States that have actually said one or two things, then the United Nations, the UN, that lip talked or gave an advice based on lip talk and eye service to the Nigerian government. Because why will I say they lip talked about Nnamdi Kanu's release? Because you claimed you gave an order to a third world country, that is Nigeria, and they disobeyed your order, and yet you've been quiet about it. You've not sanctioned them. You've not done anything about it, since you gave an order. It shows that world powers, the world, and these international organizations are working against African heroes. We've seen it over and over again in the world. They are trying to silence the heroes of Africa and those who have continued to speak, the truth and reality, against the injustices being meted against both Biafrans and Africa as a whole. Now, without wasting any time, let us go straight up to the news in detail, because a lot has to be said and clarified on this issue. The news reads: the indigenous people of Biafra, in a statement by his spokesperson and media and publicity secretary, Emma Powerful, titled United Kingdom Complicity in Nigeria's Illegal Rendition and Detention of British Citizen Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a judicial and moral indictment decried the continued silence and what it called apparent complicity of United Kingdom government in the face of the violation of Kanu's rights. We all know this. We know the violation. We know how silent United Kingdom have actually been in the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. But the big question is, and that is why I would like you to even go to the comment section and answer, because it's as if Biafrans are even being quiet about it. Why do you think that the United Kingdom are quiet about the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu? Please join us on the comment section by giving us a reply to this important question. But let us still continue with the words of the indigenous people of Biafra, as Imo Powerful made it clear. We continue with the news. The pro-Biafran group, which described Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's rendition as flagrant breach of Section 15 of Nigerian's Extradition Act, Article 12.4 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights, and Articles 7, 9, and 14 of the ICCPR, to which both Nigeria and the UK are state parties. The indigenous people of Biafran statements reads: the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB decries the continuous silence and apparent complicity in the face of Nigerians' gross and well-documented violation of international law, domestic law, and judicial precedent against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen and a freedom advocate. Imo Powerful went further to say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya, as we all know, in June 2021 in a state-sponsored criminal act of extraordinary rendition and forcibly returned to Nigeria without any extradition proceedings, a flagrant breach of Section 15 of Nigeria's Extradition Act. Article 12.4 of the African Charter on Human Rights and People's Rights, and Article 9 and 14 of the ICCPR, to which both Nigeria and the United Kingdom are state parties. What makes the United Kingdom silent, especially appalling, is that this is not an abstract diplomatic disagreement, but a matter in which the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, opinion number 25/2022, unequivocally declared Mazi Nnamdi Kanu detention illegal and ordered his immediate release and compensation. Now, I could remember vividly before I started this talk, I clarified that United Nations actually clarified that Nnamdi Kanu's extraordinary rendition or abduction was an illegal one. But where I am having issue with the United Nations is that it is just beyond you coming out to say this thing was illegal. After your observation and after your order, what did you do? Since 2022, this is 2025. So it is actually 5 years from now, 3 years from now. And yet, you want to tell me that the United Nations do not have the power to do anything against the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, knowing fully well that it is illegal. Now, it is very simple. It is because a country as United Kingdom that is powerful, that is a world power. I think they are number 2 or number 3. No world power in the world is fully involved in this. The zoo, that is the Nigerian government, is typically a very small country in this kind of issue, and Nigeria can actually be sidelined and dealt with if they go against international law. But because of the people backing them is very strong, and that is the United Nations, because of what they continue to suck from the zoo government. That is their oil, the same oil that Biafrans have, the same oil that they continue to use to hold every Biafran down. That is the oil that the United Kingdom continue to suck and continue to make sure that all this illegality continues. It is appalling, like Imo Powerful said. But the big question I will continue to ask, After all these words, big grammar we continue to speak on daily basis, what have we actually done internationally concerning the release of Nnamdi Kanu? If you ask me, honestly speaking, I will tell you nothing. Let us round up with the news. Let us round up with what Emma Powerful said. Emma Powerful finally went further to clarify that the Kenyan High Court ruled that his abduction on Kenyan soil was unconstitutional and awarded damages for Kenya's complicity. The Nigerian Court of Appeal, October 2022, held that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's extraordinary rendition constituted a fundamental violation of Nigerian's law, effectively nullifying the proceedings against him. The Federal High Court sitting in Umuahia 2022 awarded the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 500 million naira in damages for the same violation. Three judicial forums in Nigeria, Kenya, and the United Nations level have all concluded that Nnamdi Kanu's fundamental rights were trampled upon. But at all these levels of justification and judgment, yet the Zoo government have failed to do the needful. It shows that a country like the United Kingdom is actually part and parcel of the continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Now, in order to summarize this whole thing, one thing I will keep on saying is, until the United Kingdom comes clean, until other international communities and international bodies come and hold the United Kingdom against this act of violation of human rights or human rights violation, if they don't hold them accountable for the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, nothing will be done. It's as simple as that. We will talk and complain, and at the end, the Zoo government will continue to have their ways in every act of corruption and illegality on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and nothing will be done about it. It's as simple as that. Now fight we go dey fight, now complain we go dey complain, now church we go dey talk, and at the end no working go follow am. And if there is no action embedded in this whole church that will continue to rant on social media, my brothers and my sisters, nothing will happen. But the reality is that we on the media sector, we will continue to expose the atrocities of these international bodies. We will continue to speak out the truth. We will continue to speak out the reality, and we will continue to expose the atrocities of the United Kingdom in the current detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's all it be for my mouth. Thank you, my beautiful people, once again for joining us on this wonderful YouTube channel. You know what to do. Make sure you continue to share this video so that the world will continue to hear our voices, and then the world will continue to know the highest level of corruption and the evil and the genocide being committed in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. Thank you once again, and make sure you share this video. Please also continue to support us with your super chat and your super stickers, and as you do so, may God continue to bless you. Amen.
But interestingly, when we saw this news, we had to do some research regarding why this incident happened in the first place, because if it can happen today, it's very possible that tomorrow it will still happen, because we're in a rainy season, which means the runways will be wet moving on forward till we get to the dry season. So we have to do some research, and showing right now on your screen is something we found that the Nigerian government needs to look into. Yes, this states incident in perspective. This is not Airpeace first runway approach mishap. The 2019 Port Harcourt incident involved a 737 that exited the runway during heavy rain with no injuries. The airline has recorded several incidents historically, though most have involved no casualties. So as you can see, this said issue happened in Port Harcourt Airport in 2019, which was still caused by heavy rainfall. And as we speak, the Nigerian government are yet to do anything about it, because if you know that your runways are usually wet and it's going to be a problem for aircraft to land, there are some steps you should take there are some measures you definitely need to put in place. You trust the Nigerian government. They are very quick in reacting. They know how to react to incidents, but they find it very difficult to stop that incident from happening. Well, take a look at this. These are some reactions and some commentary coming from different bodies in Nigeria. The very first one here is the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, confirmed passenger safety and completion of this embarkation. The other one is Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center in Nigeria, known as YEAC, called for enhanced pilot training, especially for landings in wet runway conditions to avoid future runway excursions. We also have, as of now, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the NCAA, has not issued an official statement and an investigation is underway. So as you can clearly see, Nigerians and its government knows how to react to incidents, but to stop such things from happening is a problem for them. Well, showing right now on your screen is what Nigeria can do specifically. These are some measures that the Nigerian government can put in place to avoid something like this from happening in the future. As you can clearly see, pay attention to the highlighted part of this whole publication. It states, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Calabar, Owerri need better runway grooving and drainage. So as you can see, it's simple. Put a proper drainage system in your runways, and this will help mitigate against runway wetness. It also states, often flood prone during rainy season. This is something the Nigerian government know clearly, and they have failed to put other measures in place. We urge the Nigerian federal government to look into this case so as to avoid any future reoccurrence. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a trip to Burkina Faso. But mind you, we have interesting info regarding Nnamdi Kanu and Buhari's passing on. We did some quick investigation and we have a lot of info to share with you in this video. We also have a massive one coming from Simon's case, and you definitely need to stick around to find out. But before then, let's take a trip to Burkina Faso because we have a good news coming from that part of the African continent. Well, for clarity, take a look at this article coming from that country. State Ibrahim Traore unveils $300 million world-class stadium in Burkina Faso. The article also gave us clarity where it states Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, in a landmark moment for Burkinabe sports and infrastructure. Interim President Ibrahim Traore has inaugurated the newly refurbished August 4th Stadium, a $300 project set to host the country's first home football match in over 3 years. Eyes of Lagos reports. The unveiling comes after years of infrastructural decline and security concerns, which had forced Burkina Faso's national team, the Stallions, to play international fixtures abroad since 2021. What showing right now on your screen is the scope of that project and every single thing within. So as you can clearly see, the stadium has the state-of-the-art renovation, includes modern digital scoreboards, VIP lounge and media facilities, upgraded seating arrangements, Olympic-grade athletics track, refurbished training centers and gymnasiums. With CAF and FIFA now officially approving the stadium for international matches, the Stallions are set to return to home turf this September, this year and time. This is a massive one for the country of Burkina Faso, and kudos to the African leaders, kudos to Ibrahim Traore for making this project come into fruition. Well, let's take a trip to Imo State because the governor of that state, Hope Uzodinma, has done something nobody expected him to do. Yes, nobody expected this man to be this decisive in nature. So the question here is, what has this guy put off and how will it benefit the people of Imo State moving on forward? Well, take a look at this article coming from Igbo History and Facts, where it states, breaking news, Imo State government gives headers July 24th, 2025 deadline to end open grazing. When we saw this particular notification, we had to do some research to be sure this is coming from Hope Uzodinma. Yes, we had to verify and fact check this article coming from Igbo History and Facts. Well, we did. Showing right now on your screen is an article coming from the Vanguard. It states, Imo government gives headers July 24 deadline to end open grazing. Well, for context, showing right now on your screen is every single thing you need to know about this deadline coming from Hope Uzodinma. It states deadline and enforcement details. Deadline date. The Imo State government has mandated that all cattle headers must end open grazing within state boundaries by the 24th of July of 2025, especially within Owerri, the state capital. Official motive. The directive issued by a commissioner aims to ensure public orderliness, protect farmers' crops, and maintain socio-economic stability in Imo State, Nigeria. Well, the article also gave us more clarity regarding this case, where it states why this directive matters. The very first one is conflict reduction. We have crop damage. We also have livestock support provided. This is a nice one coming from the sitting governor of that state, and this definitely will prevent or reduce these herders moving their cattle in major cities in Nigeria. So the question here is, how will this whole thing be implemented? We all know that the Fulani herdsmen are very, very stubborn, and these people basically don't even listen to the news or try to get updates regarding the current happenings in the country. So how will these guys be informed, and how will this whole thing be implemented? We'll take a look at this. Community engagement and leadership. Herders rep. The government has officially recognized Alhaji Shuaibu as the leader of the herders in the state. He pledges to relay the directive to other herders and secure compliance. We also have commitment to peace. Shuaibu expressed regret for past disruptions and affirmed the group's intention to cooperate, highlighting a shared goal of a harmonious, clean Imo State. So what do you think about this whole thing? Do you think these guys will respect the declaration coming from the state government, or do you think these Fulani herders will disobey the instructions coming from the state government and nothing will happen to them? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to know what you think about this whole situation and how you feel about it. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at our next update. We have a news coming from Sky News regarding the India airplane crash that happened some times back. Sky News has given us a full clarity on why and how that particular plane crashed the way it did. Well, take a look at this article coming from Sky News. It states, "Four to engines of Air India plane that crashed, cut-off moment after takeoff, reports find." The article gave us clarity where it states, "Faulty engine of the Air India plane that crashed last month appears to have cut off shortly after takeoff, a preliminary report has found." According to the report by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, known as the AAIB, switches in the Boeing 787 Dreamliner's cockpit that controlled fuel moved to a cut-off position. It said Engine 1 and Engine 2 fuel cut-off switches transitioned from run-off to cut-off position, one after another, with a time gap of 1 second. The engine N1 and N2 began to decrease from their takeoff values as the fuel supply to the engines was cut off. Well, this article also went a step further to give us more clarity on why that aircraft crashed, and we will not bore you with all of the details, but you can pause this particular part of the video to read up and understand and see things for yourself. Anyways, moving on swiftly, if you find this video interesting, informative, and valued, please do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any news and updates coming from Nigeria, Finland, USA, and the rest of the world. So please subscribe and turn on post notifications. Well, moving on swiftly, this morning, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name has been trending on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms of the world. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS Correctional Center. There, he's currently being held up. And why is his name trending? Why is this man's name everywhere as we speak? Well, let me give you some highlights and give you some detailed breakdown. Just yesterday, we know that the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, passed on sometime around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. thereabouts. Well, showing right now on your screen is the most popular or the infamous tweet coming from this man that will definitely not sit well with a lot of Igbos and people from the southeast region of Nigeria. This tweet post, many of those behaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian civil case. Those of us in the field for 30 months who went through the case, we treat them in a language they will understand. And this is coming from Buhari when he was the president of the Federation, threatening the whole eastern region. And subsequently, this led to the point where Twitter deleted this particular tweet coming from Buhari, and it led to Twitter being banned in Nigeria for some months, and the whole conversations went on and on. So what is the bottom line, and what is the context of this whole conversation? Well, this man is dead, but then Nnamdi Kanu said that this guy has passed on years back. He believed that a man known as Jubril from Sudan has been ruling the country. And many individuals felt like Nnamdi Kanu was being gibberish in nature or was saying nonsense, but things has changed. Many are calling this man a prophet. Many say that Nnamdi Kanu saw the future from years back, and he predicted what will happen right about now. So let's start with Buhari. This man passed on yesterday, but then something fishy played on before his passing on. Something very, very fishy played on, and many Nigerians did not pay attention to the details within. Many Nigerians did not pay or paid little attention to it. Let me explain. A man known as Garba Shehu, who happens to be a Nigerian journalist and a politician, who served as a senior special assistant to media and publicity to former President Buhari, made some revelations, and he released a lot of trails of events before Buhari's passing on was announced yesterday. Let me show you. Showing you right now on your screen is something Garba Shehu made public. Remember, Garba Shehu is Buhari's spokesperson. This article reads, Garba Shehu, my worst experiences under Buhari, and this was released last year. Yes, it was released in 2024, where Garba Shehu exposed his worst experiences under Buhari's administration. Well, for context, take a look at this. It states, in a BBC interview held in mid of 2024, Shehu recounted two of his most regrettable moments as Buhari's spokesperson. The first one is initially relayed incorrect security information following the Zabamari massacre, referring to the victims as having no permission to be there, later regretting the comment. The second is after the Kankara school abduction. He mistakenly stated not more than 10 persons has been kidnapped, a figure he later acknowledged was incorrect once the truth emerged about 270 students. So this man, Garba Shehu, came up to tell Nigerians, see, I lied to all of you when I was working under Buhari as a spokesperson. I lied to all of you. I gave you wrong information about the security infrastructure in the state. I gave you wrong statistics about things that happened in the northern part of Nigeria regarding insecurity. I want you guys to forgive me, and I want you guys to know the truth. This was released last year. So one thing you should know, that this man has shown signs of guilt. Okay? Moving on swiftly, take a look at this article released by Garba Shehu on the 7th of July last week. It states, Garba Shehu, Buhari grateful to APC, won't undermine Tinubu. So this man yet again came out to give revelations about his boss, Buhari, stating that, see, Buhari is grateful to the All Progressive Congress, and he will never undermine the progress or undermine the government of Bola Tinubu. Well, showing right now on your screen are his exact words. He states, APC came together and gave him 2 terms for which he has remained grateful, and says, and that's why I've learned from him, I will never be ungrateful. I will never betray the party that gave me 2 terms in office. This is Garba Shehu yet again speaking for Buhari, and Buhari couldn't say this all by himself. Hope you guys are paying attention to every single thing that is playing on here between Garba Shehu and Buhari. The very first time Garba Shehu came out to ask for forgiveness regarding what he did under the administration of Buhari. The second time he came out to tell Nigerians that, and the APC, that Buhari is grateful to the party and he will not undermine Tinubu. What does this mean? Well, we'll come back to this in a second. We'll take a look at this particular one showing right now on your screen. And this is from the 13th of July of 2025, where Garba Shehu released a book. Showing right now on your screen are some pictures taken from that day and time where this guy launched his book. Well, in that book, that man made a serious revelation. Showing right now on your screen is that revelation where he said Garba Shehu confesses rat infestation story was a lie to hide Buhari's health crisis. Well, just in case you understand. Back in 2017, Buhari traveled to London to receive medical care, and the news that this man was very sick went viral. A lot of media outlets in Nigeria exposed and covered that news. Garba Shehu came up with a news to distract the attentions of Nigerians on the health of their president by stating that the Aso Rock Villa has received widespread of rats in their vicinity, even in the rooms and kitchens of the president. But that was a lie. It was done to divert the attention of Nigerians to something else. Hope you guys are getting the picture. Garba Shehu knew something Nigerians did not know. Garba Shehu, first of all, confessed about the lie he told Nigerians back in Buhari's regime. He did that, first of all, to possibly clear his conscience. He knew something was going to play on in this particular day and time. So he told Nigerians to forgive him about the lie.
I've said
during
this
the
times
administration
without number.
of Buhari.
It is
That
just
was
a
in
matter of time
2024.
before
He also
the
came up to
Prime
tell
Minister
Nigerians that
Mazi Simon
Buhari will not
Ekpa
undermine
Njoko will be
former
released.
governance
Whether
of
you
Tinubu.
believe it
That
or
was
not,
done to
that is on you.
protect
But
the
one thing
image
I
of Buhari
believe
in all
strongly
progressive
is that
Congress.
it
And
is
2
just
days
a
ago, on
matter
the 12th
of
July,
time.
he launched a book, and he states that the ratification in the Aso Rock back in the day was pure lie and a full-fledged fallacy. This guy was passing an info to Nigerians that we did not pick at that particular point in time. This guy was trying to wash his own image because he knew that this day will come. Yes, he knew that this announcement will be made at this particular point in time. And that is why he needed to clean his own name off the records of Buhari. So Garba Shehu, together with every individual close to the family, knew when to announce the passing on of Buhari. So if these guys knew when to announce it, it simply means that it's very possible that this guy, Buhari, did not pass on yesterday. It's still highly possible that he has passed on days or months before now. Because from the trails of all of these events, if you put everything together, you know that Garba Shehu knew what he was doing. Yes. And around 5:11 p.m. yesterday, they said Garba Shehu is the very first individual who announced the passing on of Buhari. Yes, Garba Shehu is the first person in the whole world who announced it, who knew and announced it. Well, showing right now on your screen is the confirmation from Garba Shehu, released, like I said, 5 p.m., 11 past 5 yesterday. And it states, the family of the former president has announced the passing on of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, this afternoon in a clinic in London. Yes, I want you to do some quick research to better confirm that this man is the very first person in the whole wide world to announce the death or the passing on of Buhari. Showing right now on your screen is a confirmation which states, the first person to publicly announce the passing on of the former Nigerian president, Buhari, was his spokesperson, Garba Shehu. So as you can clearly see, all of these things put on together isn't a mistake or coincidence. All of these things were properly planned, strategized, orchestrated, and played out to its perfection. So there are two things involved. It's either they knew Buhari was going to pass on yesterday, or Buhari has passed on a long time ago, and they had to make up stories to link every single thing together. That goes back to the statements made by Nnamdi Kanu. Statements Nigerians have contradicted. A statement Nigerians have laughed about. As you can clearly see, there are a lot of controversies and a lot of mysteries regarding this man's passing on. Well, in our subsequent video, we are going to do some quick research and investigation to unravel details that we can find surrounding this info. So if you want to be among the very first individuals to get that video, do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications, because a lot of things will be said and a lot of details must be shared. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at a good news coming from the desk of Simon, a man held in the Finnish Correctional Center. As we speak, the ICC officially has been notified about his case, and these guys will take decisive actions. The ICC will take actions in Simon's case going on forward. Well, showing right now on your screen is every single thing you need to know about the ICC's notifications. Yes, you can pause this particular part of the video to read up and understand it, to give you a full clarity and a better understanding of how every single thing will play on in the next couple of days. But then, interestingly, as the ICC are now officially engaged in Simon's case, a lot of things will happen going on forward. Yes, 5 things will definitely play on, and we all need to see them at this particular point in time. 5 strong advantages will play in the favor of Simon. So let's take this advantage one after the other. The very first one is protection of fair trial rights. And it states, if Simon or his legal team believes that he's been denied a fair trial in Finland or Nigeria, his detention politically motivated, evidence against him is obtained illegally or under duress, then the ICC or associate bodies like the Office of the Prosecutor or the Assembly of State Parties can be formally petitioned to review or monitor the process. And this article also went on and on to give us the articles where all of these things were stated. The number 2 is the intervention of national justice is under or biased. We also have the number 4, which is rejection of political motivated prosecutions, which states the ICC does not accept politically motivated prosecutions, and its standards are very high. If a state like Nigeria were to attempt to drag Simon before the ICC purely for political reasons, e.g. for separatist speech alone, the ICC would likely decline jurisdiction, dismiss the matter as violation of freedom of speech and political expression. This sets a global legal shield against authoritarian overreach. And the fifth one, yes, creates legal precedent that helps separatist movements. It states, if the ICC ever finds that a self-determination activist like Simon is wrongly targeted or the incitement allegations are politically motivated, it may build legal precedents like protect other activists globally, encourages peaceful conflict resolution rather than suppression. As you can clearly see, all of these things will work in the favor of Simon going on forward. And this is a massive one. This definitely will change the trajectory of Simon's case. This definitely will put him in a favorable condition and every single thing within. But then as we speak, there's something we all need to see and understand at this particular point in time. Simon, for the very first time, have spoken about his social media presence. Yes, he has spoken about his Twitter page and how he has used it to spread info and bring awareness about the USB people. Yes. In the Pajami District Court some time back, the prosecuting lawyer asked him a question to give him reasons why he constantly posts videos and pictures which some might not find pleasant. And Simon gave the prosecuting lawyer some clear and distinctive answers to back his points. Yes. Well, in a video published on Saturday, we clearly expose all the conversations heard and the responses coming from Simon regarding his Twitter page. Anyways, if you want to watch that video and get full updates and see things for yourself, we have a video on this channel that will give you full clarity and every single thing you need to know and understand. And that video is showing right now on your screen. So click on this video to watch and understand. Click on this video and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for watching.